Hello, Baby Yum Yum followers. I am Amanda Regaly, Chief Mommy and founder of Baby Yum Yum. So today we are having a fabulous conversation. Today we are going to be talking about opening up a bank account for your little one. And I'm going to be chatting to our very own editor, Kate McFarlane, who went to open up a Standard Bank Sum1 account for her daughter. And I love how it's called a Sum1 account because, let's be honest, you're not a no one. You're a someone. That's very, very cute. So, yes. So, Kate is going to be chatting to us now. And I just have to tell you how funny we are. So, we're both sitting in the office. And I was trying to interview her from my phone. Didn't quite work. I squashed together until one of our genius staff members said, well, why don't you both do it from your own phones, like separately? So, we are in the same office. She's just in a separate room. And that is how we are doing this Insta Live. So, Kate, I'm going to accept you. Right, let's get Kate on board. Kate on board. Kate on board. I've accepted you. Let's check it's going through to you. Hey, Kate, there you are. Welcome, Kate McFarlane, our fabulous editor.
Thank you, Amanda.
Kate?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you. I was just explaining to everyone how we actually are in the same office, but we're in different rooms because that's how we've decided to do this with Instagram. And by the way, I love that filter that you've chosen. I forgot to put on a filter today, but who needs filters, you know?
Well, I was inspired by you because you always have the most fabulous filters. So I was playing around just a moment before and I was like, have to choose an Amanda-approved filter.
Well, that is a great one. Well done. You've done a great choice today. I thought the background behind me is fabulous. So we'll just keep with that today. Kate, so today we are talking about opening up a bank account for your little one. And obviously today is brought to you by Standard Bank because, you chose a Standard Bank Sum1 bank account to open for your daughter. And for me, I think, we had a discussion last week and we spoke about finances and savings and about teaching your children the value of money. And it really is never, ever too early to teach your kids about money. So I know you've got a daughter and you went through a whole list of ideas about what you wanted to give her and you decided you wanted to give her a bank account. So
yes.
Tell me, why actually did you want to start a bank account for her?
Well, Amanda, what I started noticing with my daughter is she spends a lot of time playing with this little plastic till she has. A friend of mine bought it for Christmas. And it came with like a little plastic credit card and little plastic coins. And she'd start bartering with me and my husband and say, oh, I want something new. And if we were like, no, I don't think you can just have that. She's like, but I've got money. And when I noticed that, I was like, well, clearly it is time to do some sort of financial literacy. And kids don't actually learn that in school. So it comes down to the parents. So I was like, right, how am I going to do this? And I'm a very big believer in you learn by doing. So as scary as it was, I was like, right, I'm going to have to open up a bank account for her and let her learn the hard way or the hands-on way. So
that is the best approach. That is always the best approach because, as you always say, you believe in learning by doing. And that is exactly how one wants to learn. And one of our followers are just saying, please record this live because they're at work and they can't watch it now. And of course, you should know that's being a part of the Baby Yum Yum Instagram live. We always record this and you can always see it on our Instagram live afterwards because people love watching our stuff again and again and again. So it will always be here. So go back to work, make some money, and you can watch us just now as well. So again, thank you to everyone that's watching us. I am chatting to Kate McFarlane, our amazing editor of Baby Yum Yum, chatting about opening up a bank account for your little one. Okay, right. So now there are so many banks out there and so many bank accounts out there. Which one did you go for? And actually, let me revise that. How were you going to decide which bank account you went for?
So I had to do a lot of research and I'm naturally a journalist, so I love doing research. And I thought when it comes to the safety of your child, you can't do enough research. And I had a lot of non-negotiables that I needed this bank account to tick. I needed to be able to monitor what was going on in her account. She shouldn't have a credit limit because She's absolutely not ready for that, nor am I. I wanted to be able to set a withdrawal limit that I felt comfortable with, and it needed to be affordable. I didn't want to start a bank account for my child that was going to cost me hundreds and hundreds of rands every month. So, of course, I did all the research, and what's quite a cute story, I think, because I eventually landed on the Standard Bank Sum1 account. And I started banking with Standard Bank in 2002 when I was a student and I moved to Grahamstown. And my first account with them was a Sum1 account. Obviously, the criteria have changed now, and it's not for students so much as it is for much younger kids. And it's actually kind of marketed as the bank account for people who are just starting out. And what I loved about that is that it's a transactional account. So it teaches like the day-to-day of handling finances and money, but you're not going to earn interest. And there's, I always think it's no frills, no fuss, just practical day-to-day benefits. And I'd love to run you through some of the benefits because I think that's really what sold me on the Sum1 account. Firstly, there are no monthly fees, so it doesn't cost me a cent to have this account going for her. There's no monthly income requirements, which is great because obviously she's not earning an income. The only money that goes in there is her pocket money. There's no minimum balance required, which is quite unusual. You'll find most need a minimum of sort of 250 or 500 Rand to even get started on the bank account. Unlimited till purchase swipes at tills. You can disable this feature for safety as a parent, but I haven't. I was like, okay, Eva, I'm going to have to trust you. You get 10 free electronic debit transactions a month, free withdrawals at Standard Bank ATMs up to a certain value, free cash deposits, free balance inquiries, and I know I sound like a helicopter parent here, but I really like that you can set up those alerts to go to the parent's phone, depending on how old the child is, if that's what you decide to do. So obviously that's what I've decided to do.
It's not about being a helicopter parent. It's just purely from a safety sake, because heaven forbid, you know, her card was stolen or something happened like that. Exactly. You want to be able to monitor that from a parental point of view. So that's awesome.
And I just think if there is a safety feature that we can use with our kids, especially when it comes to tech, we absolutely should be using it.
Correct.
Yeah, and you can also get free ATM withdrawals. So that's kind of why I ended up in the Sum1 account. And you know what? I do bank with Standard Bank. So a perk of that is that I've had her internet banking all synced up to my dashboard. So when I log onto my online dashboard, everything's there and I can see it super easily. But you don't actually have to be with Standard Bank in order to open this for your child, which is really quite handy.
So, Kate, just a few things. So a lot of comments coming through because people seem to love financial topics, whether it's about saving or whether it's about opening bank accounts. So Damien Roberts saying that financial education should be a topic in school. And again, saying no monthly fees or minimum monthly deposits. That's awesome. We absolutely love that. Nazmira saying my aunt has this account for her 3-year-old and it's amazing. I mean, how cool is that? And you know, it's really cool because so often people do want to give your kids money for their birthdays. So they'll give you like cash and then it ends up in your bag and then like you end up spending it on yourself and then like, yeah, you kind of feel bad.
And if you have cash, it's tempting to spend it on them. So maybe you're like, rather than teaching them to save and wait for something else.
Correct. I think it's very, very cool. So let's see who else is saying, Sam. Ipchi Sham saying, Damien Robert, I agree. No one teaches and guides kids about after school, about finances, obviously, I'm assuming, and banking after school. And that's what's important regarding your credit record and how important it really, really is. And then some months that you wouldn't do deposits, no penalties. Right. Okay. So thank you to FYI Play It Safe. That's very cool because they're actually a safety app for kids. So that's very cool. So we like hearing that because this is all techno driven. We're talking about opening bank accounts for your kids. You were telling us the things that you really, really loved and what you really had to have for your kids when you were opening up a bank account. And of course, it's all of the things like safeties, no limits, set withdrawal limit, all of those kind of things. You know, just going back to my personal experience, I remember when I opened up my first bank account and I was little, for me, the coolest thing was actually going into the bank with my parents or with my dad, and getting a letter that was addressed to me. You know, you used to get like letters in the post in those days, you know, like actual real post letter mails. And it used to have my name on it. And every month I would like get a statement, even though it had like £2 in it. It doesn't matter. You still got that statement.
You're still proud of your £2 balance.
I was still proud of my £2 balance. And it was I got a real card that I could put into the ATM and actually withdraw money out. Oh, that was for me the most exciting thing. And I really felt like I belonged to the bank. Like I was so important because I belonged to this particular bank because I had a membership card, which was actually the ATM card. So now, talk to me about your experience opening up this bank account. You went into the bank with your daughter. What happened when you went to open the bank account? And did you get a card? So talk me through the whole experience and how easy it was to open your Standard Bank Sum1 account.
Well, I'm going to show you the card because I think it's so cute. And it makes my daughter so proud. She's like, I have my own bank card. And it is a super cute little card.
Oh,
with
sweet.
A little smiley face on it. So she's super chuffed that she got her own card and she feels so grown up. And I think making her feel grown up like that is actually going to make her be a bit more responsible with the bank account, or maybe that's just hopeful thinking. So I decided to go and open the account. And as your dad did, I took her with me because I thought she's got to be involved in this process because she's got to take ownership of this. And so I went into a branch, and you are opening a bank account for a minor, so you do need to go into the branch. I know we're very spoiled to do most things online these days, but I quite liked going into the branch because it was also that teaching experience that you mentioned that you had with your dad. So you do need to take 3 things with you, and that is the minor's birth certificate, the parent or the guardian's ID, and a proof of residence. They usually want that to be less than 3 months old, but that's very standard for any kind of account or thing that you will open. So I went in with my daughter, who was super excited, and the consultant was lovely. She spoke me through all of the different options we had. As I said, I'd already chosen that I liked the Sum1 account, but there were other options that I could look at. We just decided that the Sum1 account was really what I needed and what Eva needed. We were in the branch for less than an hour. They were quite busy, which I think is why we were there for that amount of time. But when I left, all of the paperwork was sorted. The consultant had spoken through all the benefits, the pros, everything I could possibly need to know. She'd gone through it, and she'd linked all of Eva's new account to my account and my online bank.
Very cool.
So by the time I walked out that door, we had our cute little card and everything was taken care of. I didn't need to do another thing.
Very, very cool. And just a quick question about that. Did you make an appointment before you went in, or can you make an appointment? Did you make an appointment?
I didn't make an appointment.
You didn't? I think that you can with some banks. I know that you can with some Standard Bank. You can actually phone and make an appointment beforehand. So just check with your branch beforehand. And then also just the birth certificate. Did you have to take an original copy of the birth certificate, or could you take a copy of the birth certificate?
I took the original because I didn't want to get there and find out that he needed the original and I didn't have it. But what is quite nice is on the Standard Bank website, they make it so easy for you. You can go and you can click on any of their products, so any of the accounts that you can open, and it's so beautifully laid out, and it says what you need to open this account. And there are those 3 documents, and it said birth certificate, guardian's ID book, and the proof of residence. So it's really the hard work is done for you.
That's very cool. Someone's we've got a question here from Avichita Asham. With the Sum1 account, do you need to switch to another account when the child reaches a certain age?
That's a great question, because I asked that too. So when a child turns about 16, they advise they move to another account. And I was like, oh, but you know, I've got a long way to go until she turns 16. But I wanted to know what the next plan is, because I'm
of course.
And so the next step would be to open a MyMo account. And I was like, but how much is this going to cost me now? And you know, Amanda, it costs $4.95 a month.
Okay, all right.
Which is, I mean, it's next to nothing. And that would be kind of the next step up once she's got a little bit more comfortable and she knows what she's doing with her own bank account.
Absolutely. So 4.95. Okay, that's great. Now, I would imagine that the crossover would be so streamless and simple and easy. You wouldn't have to go through all of those documents. It would really be a case of just ticking which account you wanted to move on to. What I absolutely love, what I love about this account that you've chosen, is the fact that you can actually, if you are a Standard Bank holder, well, firstly, I love the fact that you as the mommy doesn't have to be a Standard Bank account holder. That's awesome. But what I do love is that if you are a Standard Bank holder, you can actually link up her profile to your profile. So you can see what's going on all the time. You can transfer money into her account. You can, yeah.
Well, that's what I do. Every month I go on to my own dashboard and I've just set up an EFT that I do, and there's her pocket money, and then it's there, and I can monitor how she's spending it.
That's very, very cool. And then just tell me, like, what other things do you kind of do at home, just from like a saving point of view? What do you do at home to try and teach her about saving? I mean, other than, you know, giving her pocket money for doing chores and stuff like that. Like, well, what else have you kind of like started doing at home to try and teach her the value of money?
Well, I'm very big on, there are little chores that she does have to do. And from the time she was about probably 1.5, one of the first things I got her to do is she takes her plate to the sink after dinner. So it's little things like that. And she doesn't just get her pocket money. She does have to, she knows that there's certain things she needs to do. And what I try and do is have quite an open conversation with her about things. And especially with Christmas coming up and you know, for birthdays, because she was, when she was younger, she would say things like, oh, this toy is broken, or we've run out of bubbles. She loves bubbles. Yeah. And she's like, Mummy, you must buy more. And I'm like, that's not just how it works.
No.
So it's a lot of having conversations with her. And I think she is finally starting to understand, like, savings. And, you know, they often say you should do that. I think it's, I don't know if it's a marshmallow or a donut test that you do with kids.
Yeah.
Would you like one marshmallow now? Or if you wait 15 minutes, you can have 2. And that's kind of the lesson I'm trying to teach her when it comes to finances. And so far, so good. And I do think having her own bank account and seeing the money go in every month, and every time she decides to save and not spend, she realizes that she can do something bigger with what she's left with.
Absolutely, absolutely. So instead of just going to buy a chocolate now, rather save, put your money together, and you can go and buy that toy for Christmas at the end of the year, or a nice present for mommy when it's mommy's birthday, when dad's forgotten.
I don't know about that, but it'll probably be a Barbie. She's probably saving up for a Barbie.
Probably a Barbie, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, very interesting that. So definitely, I think it's really important to get your kids into the habit of having a bank account from a really young age. But I definitely agree. I think it's awesome to have a bank account that you can actually keep check on with your kids, and that's easy to open.
Easy to open, and I feel comfortable with all the safety checks that are in place. And I think that was the most important thing when I decided to open this account, was safety, her safety online. Absolutely. And being able to monitor what was going on.
Absolutely.
And I feel very comfortable with that.
And tell me, has she used an ATM machine yet?
She has. The novelty hasn't worn off yet. She still feels like she's won money.
Yeah.
But I am trying to teach her that is your money and it's come out. But I think I even remember when I started drawing money, you do kind of feel like you've won the lotto.
You do. Absolutely. Absolutely. But then, like, you know, all the other things set and you got to look around you for, like, weird people trying to steal them. And now you've got to spray the whole thing down like 1,000,000 times before you push the buttons and stuff. But that's another whole story. But it's all I can say is we just love online electronic banking, but we love that card because it gives us like a feeling that we belong to something. And isn't it funny how like you get a different sense and like feeling when you've got a black ATM card versus just like a normal one. And then when you get a gold one or like a silver one or whatever, it's like, it's just a piece of plastic card, but it gives you like a sense of a different feeling. Crazy.
Yeah, but it makes you feel very grown up and important.
It
and
does.
That's important for kids.
To be very honest, I would like that blue smiley card actually. So does it come in adult sizes? Like that's what I want to know.
My bank card is grey and boring. Why don't we all get ones like these?
100%, absolutely. Come on, like there's a market. There you go, absolutely. Lemaire's27 saying, I'm going to open a bank account for my boys in 2022. Very inspiring, indeed. So go and make sure that you open up a Standard Bank Sum One account, guys. Kate, thank you so much for chatting to us. It's been great, and thank you for all your engagement and your comment, everyone, as usual. And yes, have a great saving period now before you all start splurging before Christmas. Have a brilliant day, and thank you so much, Kate.
Thanks, Amanda. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.